holding the powerful accountable.
It's our mission here on the News 12 Investigates team.
Welcome to the 2024 special. I'm Tyler Harden.
And I'm Abby Bradshaw. We've received hundreds of your calls, texts, and tips leading to stories that have made a difference in Eastern Carolina. From uncovering what health inspectors found in school cafeterias to following the money of a mega church and digging into complaints over utility bills and bad water.
Our team traveled all across Eastern Carolina, from Carteret County to Craven, tracking the drug crisis, Pitt to Onslow, uncovering a potential insurance rate hike, even visiting a burial site in Pamlico County.
But this year, North Carolinians played a major role at the top of the ballot. Millions of people cast their votes in the 2024 election. We
broke down each race and heard from the candidates from the White House to Main Street. A seat in the U.S. House was a toss-up, Congressional District 1.
Right here in this studio, we broke down the race between Democratic incumbent Don Davis and Republican Lori Buckout and how persuasive political advertisements try to target you.
ECU political professor Dr. Peter Francia shared how what you see and hear uses the candidate's own words and actions.
What the challenger needs to do is convince the voting public that change needs to happen. And one of the ways you do that is you highlight the record of the incumbent, you attack that record and make the case for change.
Davis kept his seat in the House. Buckout conceded, calling Davis's campaign a spirited one.
A lot of the political advertisements we saw relate to an issue happening more than 2,000 miles away from us at the southern border. So the News 12 Investigates team looked into drug cartels operating in the U.S., including here at home. We found they are changing fentanyl formulas and distribution methods.
You know, we're getting a lot on the highways as it's coming into the county and, you know, working very aggressively out there to pick off these couriers that are trying to get it in and through our county.
That's Craven County Sheriff Chip Hughes. Both he and Drug Enforcement Administration officials tell us fentanyl is a big problem. While seizures of it are trending down locally, Craven County is ranked 5th in the state for fentanyl-positive deaths. In response, authorities are trying new methods to crack down on criminals and save lives. The sheriff's office tells us cartels are bringing in new fentanyl variants. The problem ultimately affects resources and your tax dollars. One initiative law enforcement is doing, partnering with the HOPE mission of Coastal Carolina. It's a program where people in recovery can help others through shared experiences. A peer support specialist assists people with mental health or substance abuse issues, encouraging them to focus on the solution, not the problem. Those who have gone through this center say the program saved their lives.
My wilderness was going in there and sitting in, those years in Craven and Carteret County Jail, thinking I didn't have any hope, and then hope walked in the door in the form of someone just like myself.
He also believes this program can help inmates trust the system a little more. While fentanyl trafficking and overdoses are still an issue, programs like this give people a little more hope or a step forward.
From sharing hope in peer programs to protecting burial sites, with increased logging and development, the News 12 Investigates team wanted to know what protections are in place for undocumented cemeteries where history is overgrown but not forgotten.
A cemetery contains human beings who lived in the past and helped create the communities that we have today. And so even if we don't know their name, they all deserve respect.
I'm hoping that we can find some more markers back there. But I know there are indications that there are more graves back there from all the craters and stuff like that.
Now this may seem like a normal patch of woods, but a closer look shows there's something more. The area is off Highway 304 in Bayboro. Loggers came to thin the trees there. That's when someone living nearby tipped us off to the problem. Records show there is a cemetery here, long overgrown. It's a problem for loggers and developers. There are cemeteries like this all over Eastern Carolina. The News 12 Investigates team found state law is not always clear about undocumented cemeteries. There can be very little, if any, information about their exact whereabouts. County resources don't reveal much about this Pamlico County property. In one email, we were told the indication of a cemetery could even be a mistake. A historic cemetery specialist says a solution can be hard to come by, although there are not always simple solutions. What we do know is markers are legally protected. even ones that don't look like modern concrete headstones. The logging near Bob Jones Cemetery is over now, leaving people in the area wanting to search for more markers and find a way to better protect the property. Early last year, a referendum rollback in the town of Pink Hill came into focus.
Now, nearly 2 years since people voted on a mixed beverage referendum, a change at the state capitol means their votes stand. After the November 2022 election, people in Pink Hill were under the impression restaurants and bars could sell mixed alcoholic drinks. More than 60% of the vote supported a referendum. It wasn't until months later a decades-old state law under the election section created confusion of the referendum's validity. Former State Senator Jim Perry represented the southern Lenoir County town at the time.
I do not believe anyone did anything purposefully wrong. I just think that there's not the stopgaps that you would expect.
With this option available, it doesn't mean that it has to be taken by everyone or every restaurant or every venue or that sort of thing. Nobody is forced or required to do so, but it gives them the option to do so.
Business owners Sierra and Josh Dunham were banking on the ability to get an ABC permit after opening a renovated space. The couple applied for a permit with the town only to be denied last year. Now the permit could become a reality. Senate Bill 527, known as the ABC Omnibus Bill, became law in July.
Meanwhile, in Pitt County, the News 12 Investigates team reached out to Koinonia Christian Center Church over the course of 6 months. It was all about this property in Greenville. It's the largest home in the city, and it's in the church's name. Property records show it's 13,683 square feet.
The pastor's focus should be on the most needy person in the congregation, not on themselves, not on their lavish lifestyle.
Religious organizations are tax exempt and receive other favorable treatment from the IRS. That means tax filings for churches revealing what donations pay for, including pastor salaries, is not open to the public, unlike other nonprofits. We asked for financial transparency on behalf of Koinonia donors and requested an interview multiple times by phone, email, and in person, each time declined by Bishop Rosie O'Neill and her team. However, after our report aired, she shared her side of the story in a pre-recorded video.
You know, the news story said they uncovered it, but it was never hit.
After multiple attempts by phone, email, and in person, it wasn't until the News 12 Investigate story aired on July 25th that Koinonia Christian Center's Bishop Rosie O'Neill responded. Her reaction directed towards the congregation with ways for members on how to respond to potential criticism. The 3 options state the ministry house and other projects aren't secret. Then 10 days after our story aired, an official pre-recorded 6-minute video response was released. It aired on Matters of the Heart and was posted on social media.
It was almost 32 years ago when God spoke to me to build a place for pastors, missionaries, and leaders where they could come and be refreshed, find respite and peace.
Bishop O'Neill's vision was turned into a reality. This house in the Star Hill Farm neighborhood is in the church's name. County records reveal the 2-floor mansion is 13,683 square feet and is zoned residential agricultural. There's 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, an elevator, pool, and gazebo.
Our members have heard about it for 3 decades, but we had to wait until we had the right resources, the land, and the right builder. We always have known it would serve as the parsonage because what God called us to do was to offer both biblical and Episcopal love and hospitality.
Bishop O'Neill says since moving in 11 months ago, 35 pastors or missionaries have stayed at the house. 3 people, including 1 couple, were featured in the video, sharing a testimonial of their experience.
No, nothing negative that I would ever say about a ministry retreat center, but that's not how God gave it to us. He told us, bring them into the home.
Bishop O'Neill did not specify how religious leaders are chosen to stay at the house and whether or not they have to apply or are invited. Now, hundreds of you shared your thoughts on this story, some calling on churches to be taxed, to others highlighting the Christian Center's good deeds, like the gas giveaway and food banks. It's up to you and fellow parishioners to ask for a copy of your church's finances to ensure the money is moving, falls in line with the mission.
It smelled horrible. It had a horrible yellow color to it, like urine, until I got the $900 bill and complained so much.
As a consumer, it's very frustrating to see these bill changes.
Dirty, troubling water mixed with unexplained high bills and rising rates affected many of you this year.
The News 12 Investigates team started digging into dozens of complaints, from what's increasing your energy bills to using specific bulbs to light your home, and understanding why water in one community forced a family to pack up their memories and move out of the neighborhood. For people living in Brandywine Bay, outside the Morehead city limits, they have no choice but to use Carolina Water Service. The News 12 Investigates team started looking into complaints in 2023. We took a sample to East Coast Water Quality to find out what's really coming out of the tap.
If you look right here, you can see it's off color, like a tan color, compared to this where it's clear. Consistently now, Brandywine's had an issue where the whole neighborhood was sulfur and tannins, a discoloration.
General Manager Andrew O'Leary has been testing the water in the community for 3 years, and over time he's noticed changes in the results. He says the water is hard, meaning it may mess up pipes, stain glasses, and damage appliances. The latest state water quality test results reveal Carolina Water Service met Safe Drinking Water Act standards in 2022. While representatives for Carolina Water Service did not agree to our request for an on-camera interview, they did say they would revisit an idea to install ion exchange water softeners at the well sites with the Brandywine Owners Association approval. Association President Scott Mason says they still have not received a formal proposal.
Duke Energy is the largest provider in Eastern Carolina, lighting nearly 115,000 homes each day. Some customers, though, are raising questions about what they're finding at the bottom of the bill, called a summary of rider adjustments. This is along with the basic customer charge and energy usage for the month. Al Rashidi showed us where 1 month the charge was about $60, another more than $100. He prioritizes energy use during off-peak hours and turned off heating and air to a part of his home, but he's left still with higher bills than last year. Al says he's concerned over what he finds in his bill from Duke Energy Progress.
The rider has no explanation, and I would like to see them explain, give me a line item explanation as why this rider is this big this month, and that would be more acceptable than just a blind number showing up.
Duke Energy spokesperson Jeff Brooks says it's broken down like this. A basic customer charge, which pays to maintain your account, does not change. The energy charge is for the kilowatt hours you use, a storm recovery cost. Then the summary of rider adjustments and renewable energy rider, something previously factored into the energy charge. Duke Energy offers a home energy audit, budget billing program for predictable monthly payments and usage alerts right to your phone. There's also payment plans and assistance options to help in a crisis.
Al switched to all LED lighting to save money. It's one of 2 types of bulbs you'll use in your house or during Christmas around your tree. The other type is an incandescent traditional bulb.
Both do the same job of bringing that holiday spirit, but they work a little differently when it comes to your bill and what you're spending. I looked into how far your dollars go and how you can cut the cost without cutting the cheer.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly.
Long process, and they start probably getting everything together in August.
Lisa Boer and Melissa Tafoya work at ELJ Farms in Jacksonville, where Christmastown is underway.
We love it. It's our favorite time of year.
The holidays are busy and costly as they welcome customers for the season.
Normally it runs probably, I would say, well over $2,000 a month just to run the lights.
Tafoya says that's a big reason they use LED lights.
So we have over 2 million lights out here. About 99% of them are the LED lights. We like them, cost efficiency for those as well.
Most of us don't have big displays like this, but just adding extra lights around the house can affect your bill during the holiday season. The Department of Energy recommends LEDs too for longevity and your wallet.
What you see on your electricity bill, it's going to be about 90% in general more efficient, which translates to 90% energy savings for the consumer.
According to DOE data, running LED lights 12 hours a day for 40 days means about a $4 increase to your bill. However, under those same circumstances, traditional lights would translate to a $30 increase.
I'd say absolutely, it's worth it. The payback is pretty easy for folks to calculate.
You may have heard LED lights cost more up front. That's still true. Merrill says it's not as bad as you think, and it's getting better.
So the cost difference between incandescent versus LED has narrowed. It used to be a little bit more dramatic. We've done a lot of work to bring costs down for LEDs or to make them more consistent with what people expect from other bulb types.
Homeowners insurance comes up every hurricane season. This year, a homeowners insurance rate hike proposal got the attention of people all across the state, especially in coastal communities where premiums could really go high. According to the Department of Insurance, coastal homeowners pay more than $5,000 a year for insurance. The state average is around $2,000. A request this year by the NC Rate Bureau would nearly double premiums in coastal counties. Most inland areas would get a smaller increase. North Carolina Insurance Commissioner Mike Causey says he's there for consumers.
The request was excessive and unfairly discriminatory.
In previous years, there's been a cap on insurance premiums. The hearing is expected to wrap up in the new year.
The top official for Rebuild NC steps down, and Battle Director Laura Hogshead's exit from the agency came days after harsh criticism from state lawmakers.
Hogshead served as the chief operating officer for the state's Office of Recovery and Resiliency since 2018. In November, GOP lawmakers criticized the agency's response to Hurricanes Matthew and Florence. Since then, officials say nearly 3,000 families in Eastern Carolina are in safer, more resilient homes. However, 5 years later, hundreds of people are still waiting for reviews, inspections, and construction, resulting in lawmakers expressing doubt about the office's ability to respond to Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina. Former state representative Pryor Gibson is taking over Hogshead's position.
Cooking, cooling, reheating, those are considered our highest risk components.
Millions of meals are served to thousands of public school students each year across Eastern Carolina.
It wouldn't be possible without the fast-paced, high-turnover environment known as the school cafeteria. But what's in place to make that system safe? At least twice a year, health inspectors make unannounced visits to educate and ensure food safety. 3 schools received at least one critical violation in Lenoir County, which are most hazardous or could lead to foodborne illness. Assistant Superintendent Nicholas Harvey shares the importance of keeping this operation moving and having the resources it takes to fix any issues.
Does Lenoir County Schools have the resources to adequately address
Absolutely.
These violations and concerns?
Absolutely. The safety of our students is our number one priority, whether it's in the cafeteria or in our classrooms or in the ball game or in the courtyard. The safety of our students are paramount. So money will never be an issue to address safety concerns in Lenoir County Public Schools.
The News 12 Investigates team uncovered the roaches, microbial growth, and repeat offenses after reviewing hundreds of violations. You can see what inspectors are finding in lunchrooms across Pitt, Carteret, Craven, and Onslow counties, along with the corrections school officials are making on our website.
A breakthrough in the unsolved Atlantic Beach murder case of Randy Miller.
But we're not stopping, as you can see.
Investigators revealing new specifics about the getaway car, but for more than 2 years, Randy Miller's wife Susan is still without answers.
Before I go to bed at night, I pray that, they catch this horrible person.
This surveillance video shows the silver Volkswagen CC investigators believe the suspects used to drive away just moments after the 65-year-old was stabbed to death. He was preparing a fishing boat on Atlantic Boulevard early August 29, 2022. If you have any detailed information, call the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation.
Thank you to all of you who reached out. If you have a story you want us to investigate in 2025, call, text, or email us.
We are wishing you a great year, and remember, our mission is holding the powerful accountable.